Deputy Prime Minister Senator Thulile Dladla says the country's national flag signifies the identity and pride of Eswatini. Minister for Agriculture Mandla Chauka says with the help of the Moroccan government, Morocco's OCP fertilizer manufacturer will be able to set up shop in Eswatini. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A national flag signifies the identity and pride of Eswatini. This was said by the Deputy Prime Minister Senator Thulile Dladla in commemoration of the National Flag Day.
Siyathukuthi bekubhebhetela Union Jack umjeka wemangisi. Kepha ngalo 1967 ngaleli langa leli sikulo namhla ka 25 April lokufanele onke emaswati atichene ngayo. Iflegi yemangisi kwaphakamisa umjeka wemaswati. Mhla ka 25 April ingwenyama lekhona mswati wesithathu atelwe mhla ka 19 April. Siyatigcaja nje siyatichenya ngale nyanga le. Inyanga lenkulu kabi emaswatini. Uma lo mjeka uphakama njengaloku sathi ukuthi independence sase sithola mhla ka 6 September 1968. Lo mjeka wethu unemibala lemgcoka kakhulu emaswatini. Futhi kufanele sisathi ukuthi umjeka usho ukuthini. Umjeka i-identity yaleso sivi. Itichenya ngaso liphethe lelive ngalomjeka. Ngiko umjeka uma utawuphakanyiswa utawuphinze wehliswe njalo kusesibone etigodlweni. Into lenkulu kakhulu. Ngenzabe ukuthi livelelo liyakhothanywa. Umjeka uhambe nje undandanyiswa noma ngangikuphi. And kwi-identity yethu uma uthi uphuma liphi livela kangwani ukhomba lo mjeka. Uma multilateral organization ngabe ka UN livela kangwani likhona libonakala ngani ngemjeka. Uyahamba ka Commonwealth liva kangwani libona ngani ngemjeka. Uya ka AU uya noma ngangikuphi lelo live nemjeka wayo. So lelethu ke linalo blue lo njengesibhakabhaka. Kubhlungu nje ngoba ngale climate change nalokupollute sigcina sibhakabhaka sister ukugcina abantu abangasathi uthi sinjani. Sineke sikhuluma ngale sibhakabhaka lesatiko lesi sinalo blue lo khombisa nje kuthula nekusimama kwelive.
The Deputy Prime Minister Senator Thulile Dladla requests unemployed, orphaned and vulnerable children with qualifications and those who have completed Form 5 and are unable to apply for tertiary education to submit their information to social welfare officers across the country.
The Office of the Deputy Prime Minister has a mandate of ensuring inclusive growth for all Eswatini. On that reason, the Deputy Prime Minister Senator Thulile Dladla is asking non-working, orphaned and vulnerable children with certificates of certain skills together with those who have completed their Form 5 and have difficulty getting into tertiary institutions to submit their information to social welfare offices across the country.
Labantwana bafundiswa nguhulumende. Bathi ngekuphuma noma ngabe ukhona la kufundzela noma ngabe somphasile Form 5 ubese uhulumende sesiyakhohlwa ukuthi phela besifundisa umntwana ngisho lo nemntala wakhe bese uyamlandzelela. So bese sithi ke sifuna kwakha iregister yabo labantwana laba bendlunkulu abafundiswe nguhulumende ukuthi sathi ukuthi wo laba phase Form 5 bamphase kanje bese ke sicela labor sithi labor naba abantwana bethu sicela nakhe ama symbols zabo laba ungathi bente kahle kakhulu singacela ukuthi ubanike scholarship baqhubeke noma bangenela imkhokhwini noma bangena university noma bangena kuphi bona bavame kusalela emva ngoba kude nalo tawubahamba ubamelela le ka labor nekwathi ke ukuthi kuchubeka kanjani bese nje umntwana uthi kuna noma ngasithola le scholarship isuitcase ngidayithola phi kwembatha ngidakuthola phi so sizama ukusebenza lokho sifuna nekubuka le degree yalokuhlupheka kwakhe lo mntwana ukuthi kungakanani ngoba labanye ukhanza ukuthi abakasweli kangaka ukukhona ihlobo letibanaka bese kuba khona laba kungenalutho so sitakwakha le register ke labanye babo ukhanza ukuthi bafundzele vele babo plumber ngema artisan nje bayakha ma bricklayer bendile labo electricity and so on and so forth. So nabo labo sifuna kwadi nokuthi bakuphe emangweni ngoba phela siyabona nangu nelhovisi la DPM liphumile lakhatindlu likanye na NDMA abacasheke labo bantwana.
The Deputy Prime Minister asked for collaborative action in the registration process for the benefit of Emaswati. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Swekoza with LinkedIn Gule Sitfogodvo.
The Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Mandla Chauka, says with support from the Moroccan government, Moroccan OCP fertilizer manufacturer will soon set up factories in Eswatini. The minister was speaking during the 33rd FAO conference held in Morocco.
The Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Mandla Chauka, alongside the Honourable Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Jenny Mkonda, are currently attending the FAO 33rd Africa Conference and Moroccan International Trade Fair. The Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Mandla Chauka, says important topics discussed include the blue economy and transforming agri-food systems in Africa. The minister says with the support from the Moroccan government, the ministry will have OCP Group, a Moroccan company that develops fertilizer solutions, set up factories in Eswatini.
Lokunye lokubekusha ukuthi sikhaze ukuthi uhulumende lo ngaphambili lolandzela khona nyalo abeyakhe isivumelwano nelive laseMorocco lekwelekelelana noma lokusitana ngemisebenzi. Leso sivumelwano ke sibe sevele sesifuqa indzaba yokuthi sithole inkampani lengamane yehle yosakhela bomanyolo eveni lakangwane. Le nkampani ekuthiwa i-OCP ngiyona lenkulu kakhulu emhlabeni wonke ekwakheni bomanyolo. Sisiteke nangunduna yetekulima la eMorocco loMbabe Mohammed Sadiq sibonga kakhulu uselekelele kakhulu ekuhlanganeni nalaba banikati bale nkampani. Sibonile netinye tinkampani njengeinkampani letakha kudla kwetilwane nakhona lenkulu kakhulu eAfrika nakhona solo siyabasoma bekunene ukuthi behle bayosivulela imisebenzi kaNgwane.
On his remarks during the meeting, the Honourable Minister of Agriculture also highlighted the need for landlocked countries like Eswatini to participate in aquatic food systems and sought help from FAO to develop fisheries. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samga Swekoza with visual source from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Eswatini is on the right track in the fight against malaria and is currently in the elimination stage. The National Malaria Control Program's manager Quentin Dlamini says the country is working towards eliminating malaria.
As the world commemorates World Malaria Day, Eswatini has made strides in eliminating malaria. According to the program's manager at the National Malaria Control Program, Quentin Dlamini, about 80% of cases has been reduced thus far.
We are now approaching whatever situation comprehensively to say we are going as a team. We're no longer going like malaria goes there, the following day you've got TB, the following day you've got cancer. We are all going down as a team, so that everyone who may feel actually or who may want to get some assistance in whatever field may go there and get assistance. Diarrhea, chills, it may vomit, maybe vomiting, nausea, delirium, depending on the severity of the disease, But once we have the three major ones, headache, fever, and chills, you go to the nearest health facility. Don't waste time. In fact, what we are advocating for as a minister that whenever one doesn't feel well, you go to the nearest facility. You don't wait until late, because what we're striving for is to prevent diseases as opposed to curing diseases.
Eswatini is already in the elimination stage of malaria. Reporting, I am Kian Msibi with Pugutle Dlamini, Manzini.
In a statement before me, in light of recent events surrounding the investigation and detention of officials within the Ministry of Home Affairs, the ministry would like to update the public as follows. The Ministry of Home Affairs is deeply concerned about the recent allegations involving their officials being investigated and detained on suspicion of fraudulently producing government documents illegally. At the Ministry of Home Affairs, they take these allegations very seriously and are cooperating fully with the law. The unlawful sale of security documents such as birth certificates, passports, visas and permits has been a challenge for the ministry, and they are committed to addressing this issue head-on. The ministry has full confidence in the judicial system and trusts that the law will prevail in this matter. The ministry remains steadfast in its commitment to upholding the rule of law and ensuring that justice is served. The ministry is taking immediate steps to address these issues, such as embarking on digitization of all civil registration and immigration services to enable online application for all services, to reduce corrupt practices that emanate from officers directly interacting with clients. For any inquiries, information regarding the aforementioned, citizens are encouraged to reach out to the Ministry of Home Affairs or direct any communication to the law enforcement agencies for appropriate action. Assistant Immigration Officer Mboneni Ngosinathi Zwane, who faces 25 counts that include fraud, theft, as well as money laundering, says he is innocent of the charges against him. He said this in his urgent bail application filed at the High Court. The Crown opposes his bail application.
The 40-year-old accused person, Nkosinathi Mboneni Zwane of Moneni area, was slapped with 19 counts of fraud, 5 counts of theft, and 1 count of money laundering. In his bail application, Zwane mentioned that he never committed the said offences and he shall plead not guilty at trial. He told the court that he has a valid defence to the charge that he never intentionally and unlawfully acted in furtherance of common purpose with anyone defrauded the Minister of Home Affairs, steal passport books, or utilize monies obtained through the commission of an offence as alleged. He said despite being employed in the Ministry of Home Affairs, but he is not under the department responsible for issuing of passport as well as visas within the ministry. Zwane submitted that he is employed as an assistant civil registrar under the civil registration since January 2014. He narrated that his duties entails amongst others signing and authenticating birth, marriage as well as death certificates. Zwane continued to dispute the allegation pertaining to money laundering. He said there is no evidence against the charge and one can claim that it is just a bare allegation. He says this equally applies to the allegations of theft. Zwane says he never stole any passport book and none was found in his possession. He said he was arrested by members of the Royal Eswatini Police on April 16, 2024. Zwane said he is currently kept at the Mbabane police station. The 9 counts of fraud are those he did wrongfully and with intent to defraud, mispresent to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration Department that certain documents which he then produced and exhibited to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration Department was an authentic passport number 10337826 issued by government of the Kingdom of Eswatini, thereby entitling Delight Moyo, a Zimbabwean national, to enter or exit Eswatini. He allegedly committed the crimes while near or at Ngwenya Border Gate from November 2023 to February 2024. The other 6 fraud counts are those that Zwane allegedly committed near or at King Mswati III International Airport. The charge sheet states that Zwane wrongfully and with intent to defraud mispresent to the Ministry of Home Affairs Immigration Department that certain documents which he then produced and exhibited to the said Ministry of Home Affairs Immigration Department was authentic visas on arrival. The other 4 counts of fraud Zwane is accused of that he did wrongfully with intent to defraud, mispresent to the Ministry of Home Affairs Civil Registration Department that certain documents of the Ministry of Home Affairs, including birth certificates, personal identity numbers which he produced and exhibited to the Ministry of Home Affairs were for Emaswati national born in Eswatini issued by the government of Eswatini. Where Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, High Court.
In another statement before me, the Ministry of Health is pleased to inform the nation that the prevailing medicine and medical supply shortage crisis is progressively being rectified. The nation is assured that stocks of medicines and medical supplies are gradually being received. Yesterday, a sizable stock of medicine was delivered to central medical stores. The ministry can reveal that among the stock, there is the much-anticipated diabetic medication and a batch of medication for hypertension. This stock is enough to cover all public healthcare facilities nationwide. The ministry is also prioritizing improving other critical healthcare areas, such as shortage of ambulances, decentralization, and continuous provision of renal dialysis services. The ministry pleads for patience from the nation whilst they continuously work to strengthen the public healthcare sector. To increase the awareness on drug abuse in schools, the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health has partnered with the Association of Students Against Drug Abuse and Trafficking, SADAT. This was said by SADAT coordinator Reverend Peter Semugerere.
And then together with the World Health Organization, there is a program on tobacco control. And so we have been able to receive a lot of support from both the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization in terms of technical know-how and also funds. Treating substance use is very expensive, especially if it has become addiction. Because when this drug use goes up to or drifts into addiction, it's now a disease. And there we are talking about a chronic relapsing brain disease. The individual is not just himself or herself, and they need help. And we are seeing this on the rise in the schools with young people, and particularly the intelligent young children. And what happens now, when these students have been told to go home on suspension or find help, the parents run around looking for help. And this we offer at a cost of $350 per session. And we don't know how long the child will remain in treatment. Yet, if they are to send the children for training, it's most likely that those children will not use drugs.
Moving on to sports, Premier League of Eswatini chairman Mark Carmichael says the issue of increasing teams to 16 in Premier League is being discussed, though at the moment nothing has been decided yet. Carmichael was speaking to the media after the Board of Governors held a special meeting that also discussed issues around shortage of facilities.
Inzaba 16 teams on the table as an option kulama challenge lakhona ebholeni.
Speaking to Eswatini TV sports team, Premier League of Eswatini chairman Mark Carmichael says the issue of 16 teams is being worked on, and the board of directors during a special meeting gave the executive a permission to go and look at options of how that could be possible going forward. Carmichael, however, insisted that at the moment the stand is to see 2 teams being relegated until further notice for the upcoming season. On the other hand, Carmichael touched on the issue of facilities, with the 2 main stadium being Somplo National Stadium and Mavuso Sports Center under rehabilitation. The Premier League is looking to see how they can finish the remaining 4 games of the season, then decide in the upcoming season.
Upgraded facility, but as an organization siyazama ukusebenza ukuthi siconnected umdlalo ngendlela lefanele.
Chief Executive Officer of Eswatini Football Association, Frederick Mgometulu, says plans of introducing a futsal national team to compete at international level from next year are at an advanced stage, with the sport now being played competitively at school level.
Speaking to Eswatini TV Sports, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Football Association, Frederick Ngometuru, he says the association have other different programs such as futsal, which are programs under FIFA. He says for the past years, the program has been at the introduction level. The next move will be now to be dominating into schools, where school competition should be established towards the end of this year. Ngometuru says the bigger picture is to ensure that by the beginning of next year, there is a national team where the country can begin to compete internationally. Ngometuru concluded saying that
They will begin with regional competition with countries like South Africa and Mozambique, already at an advanced stage when it comes to futsal as a sport.
Kutawuya ngekuthi-ke imidlalo yangaphandle iqala nini kodwa sitawuqale sinikete ukuthi sidlale imidlalo yobungane njengoba sathi sibomakhelwane bethu bo-South Africa, Mozambique sebavele bayadlala ngaphandle.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our headlining stories. Deputy Prime Minister Senator Thulsile Dladla says the country's national flag signifies the identity and pride of Eswatini. Minister for Agriculture Mandla Chawuka says with the help of the Moroccan government, Morocco's OCP fertilizer manufacturer will be able to set up shop in Eswatini. And with that, it's a wrap. I'll leave you now with the weather update for myself and the crew. Many thanks for your company. Take care.